are.
Yes, indeed.
Live on YouTube.
We're live on Facebook. Here we go.
And Axe Radio.
Good morning. Coming to you live from Axe Media Group headquarters here in the beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay, coming to you live. I already said that part. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Wouldn't you say, Jay?
Yes. Yes. I don't know. What did you say?
I said it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yes. Yes, indeed. It's chilly out there today. You have closed the door. All right, let's back this off a little bit. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today.
And it's time for another commercial.
It is time for a commercial
already.
Let's just start out. Let's go ahead and let's pull it up. Let's do a real quick commercial.
All right. Well, let's get you there.
Are you going to get me there?
You are ready. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You are
Here we
live.
Go. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive. I'm so glad that you're here today. But I want to let you know that this show is brought to you by naturalsolutionsstore.bz, the greatest place to be for all of your natural health needs.
.bz.
Go on there. One product I want to talk about today is Super Hemp Balm, one I personally use, and it works very, very well.
I need
you
some.
have that sore knee, that sore back, that sore neck, sore head.
Everything.
Sore anything. I used it on a toothache once, although it's not recommended for internal use.
Not recommended.
Not recommended. So, that's beautiful. Perfect. You should do that professionally. So I didn't want to say that, this stuff, Jay and I were both really skeptical whenever we first started using this, and oh man, it worked. My back was hurting to a point where I couldn't hardly stand up, couldn't sit down, couldn't do the shimmy to the side or shimmy to the left, whatever. It was hurting too bad. So, and then I just rubbed a little bit of this, just enough to make your fingers shiny, and rub it on the area that is impacted with pain. And, 10 minutes later, it worked fast.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
.bz.
that's pretty nice. That works really well.
That
works really well. It's going to be another fun show today.
Yeah.
So, go online. If you have chronic pain, go online and check it out. Get some. You will not be disappointed. I have yet to find anybody who's tried it that hasn't, appreciated the fact that it got rid of the pain. So, naturalsolutionstore.bz. Pick yourself up a bottle today. Back to you guys.
.bz. Oh.
Anyways.
We're back.
And we're back. If Kevin's listening, he probably laughs every time we say that.
Yes. Good morning, Jeremiah, Steve Schultz, Steve McAllister.
Jim Whining is watching on YouTube.
Scott Holland.
Scooter Hooler. He's been called a lot of things in his life. Scooter.
Hey, when are you going to bring on that lady? I guess he said he had a lady who's a psychologist who would like to come on the show.
Who?
I can't remember who he said. Her name.
Who was that?
Steve McAllister. Tell us who. Bring her on.
Yeah, we've already got a couple psychos running the show, so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim. Jim said it.
I would be suspicious that she was analyzing me the whole time.
I mean, the only
and I know the answer to that question.
You know what?
Just might as well just directly ask.
I'm
nuts. Crazy.
I dated a woman. Well, I guess I dated a woman that was. She had a degree in psychology.
Right.
And she started using that degree on me.
Right.
And I was like, look, yeah. I'm coming to you as a friend, not a psycho or a psychologist.
Yeah.
Is there a difference?
She was a nice lady. I miss her. She was a lot of fun. She was really easygoing, easy to get along with.
I think she's married now. She was one of our first correspondents.
Yeah. Yeah.
She would tell us, hey, everything sounds good on this end, because we honestly didn't know how everything sounded. In the beginning, we relied on everybody else out there listening to tell us, hey, you sound great, da-da-da-da.
Yeah, and I think she expressed that we'd made her uncomfortable with our poor manly behavior.
Good morning, Mary Gill.
Behaving like men behaving poorly.
Yes. Scott used to call me Huey. The whole family used to call me Baby Huey.
Yeah.
And if you're old enough to know who Baby Huey is, you're probably laughing right now.
Yes.
Because baby Huey was like
a giant baby.
Yeah, like twice the size, twice as tall.
Like Paul Bunyan baby.
Yeah, like 3 times as tall as his parents.
And how did he talk again? I can't remember.
We're gonna be right back. That's but you know the thing is, and he was.
I thought he sounded more like Shrek.
No, that's.
No, it was Pumbaa.
Pumbaa. You're just trying to give me new impressions. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. That's Timon.
Sorry.
Luau, if you're hungry for a hunk of fat and juicy meat, eat my buddy Boomba here. He really is a treat.
Yeah.
Let's come on down to 9. He really is a swine. All you got to do is get in line.
That's a great.
You're aching. Yep. Oh, some bacon. Yep. He's a big pig. You can be a big pig, too. Oi! Mm-hmm. That's probably one of my favorite. I don't know. I liked the operatic part that Pumbaa said when he's like, Timon was like, why, when he was a young warthog.
Yeah.
When I was a young warthog. And it was like slightly off pitch. Nice. Thanks. He talked about him farting all the time.
Right.
I'm a sensitive soul who is even thick-skinned.
Yep.
And it hurt. My friends never stood downwind. I've seen that movie a couple times. It's a good movie. Yeah. Yes, free to be on tomorrow and Friday. All right. Well, we'll see you then, Steve McAllister.
Yeah.
I called him Steve McAllister instead of Steve Islander.
And you're going to bring your psychologist friend.
Yeah, bring your psycho friend.
Yeah, your psycho friend. Psychoanalyzer.
Miss Sister Mary Gill, we love seeing you on here, and we really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
And she calls us dear family, and I just...
Yes.
That right there is the embodiment of what Christianity is supposed to be. We are all to be...
She's filling rooms out there, and where is it again?
Pakistan.
Preaching and teaching the gospel and the Word of God?
I haven't posted any of her videos yet. I don't want to do anything that's going to put her in danger.
Right.
You know what I mean? So...
We may already have.
You're right.
We don't understand those things, and that's one of the great things about America, though, is that we have a lot less imposing threat on us as other countries do in other places.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of it with the free speech issues, but then that tide has changed.
Yes.
I just hope that the voices of the other side aren't silenced, because they do have something to say that we can learn from.
Absolutely. I loved having Jim on here because we had two sides of an opinion on gun control. Mm-hmm. And we had a semi-civil conversation about it.
Yeah. And made no progress. I mean, my opinion about it hasn't changed at all.
No.
Except that guns could be safer around children, you know?
Yeah.
Well, in a school, well, we shouldn't talk about that, but.
Yeah, because we talked about that pretty hardcore when Jim was on here the other day.
Yes.
And, sorry, somebody sent me a friend request, and I want to make sure it's
I've been avoiding Facebook.
Even though we didn't have any change of mind on either side, we still walked away from that, and we still love each other, and we're still friends. And, you know, just because you have a differing opinion doesn't mean that you have to hate that person or that you have to disavow them. You know, we can have differing opinions and still.
Well, and my opinion about the border changed some, though. Not changed really, but I got some ideas from him that I think improve my own developing ideas.
Yeah.
You know, like he doesn't want to build the wall, but my opinion is we should build the wall, and the gates should be wide open so that people can come through them in mass amounts. I mean, as a cashier, I see people working so hard all the time, unreal hours, like I used to when I broke my back, and it concerns me for them.
Yeah.
You know, we need more workers, and that's a good idea. You know, it's a good idea to have more workers. And he said, so I say build the wall so people can't come across illegally and bring illegal substances. But then when they come through the gate, take their handprints, take their footprints, take whatever personal information you need to know about who they are and how you can
Morning, Linda Fleetwood.
Identify them if they do commit a crime and all that. And then let them come into the country for 10 years. Let them send that money home. Okay, so they're gonna do an exchange, right? They're going to come here and they're going to work for us and produce. right?
Mm-hmm.
Our money used to be backed by gold. Now it's backed by our gross national product. They can help us with that. And then the money we pay them for the work they do, they can send home to their countries, and then that's in the hands of the people, not the government, not the cartels, but in the hands of the families of the people who are here working. And those families can improve and better their own life.
Good morning, Isabella.
Not only that, the shops, the local shops, and all the little places where they spend that money to take care of themselves and their own families there in those countries where they are, that's going to help the economy of that country.
If they come over here and they start paying taxes, they're going to be contributing to society. They're going to be part of
producing,
the clock.
Building,
yeah.
And producing.
They are hard workers. The ones that I've worked with, and this is not being stereotypical.
They're foreigners. They're people coming here for a better opportunity. So, of course, they're going to take advantage of it.
7 days a week, 16 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. We're
never
spoiled
saw,
as Americans.
Yeah. And, you know, I have never seen any other crew brick a house in a faster time, and it still look okay.
You know, I shouldn't. Okay, so I don't want to say that Americans aren't hard workers. The truth is, I've seen a lot of Americans and worked with a lot of Americans personally, and you can't work harder. You can't work more hours.
Right.
I mean, you just break down if you do, and that's true about the human body.
Yeah.
You know, and I worked in labor, so of course that's, you know, my own thing. But now being a cashier, if I'm a cashier and I work a 5-hour shift, and it's a busy, busy shift, and I serve 250 people, by the time I'm done, my brain starts to scramble a little bit. Just you know, the numbers start to not be. I start to say numbers in the wrong order, and you know what I mean. So things like that do affect you.
And you know what? I have to say this also. If you work in a physical job or in just a basic run-of-the-mill labor job, you know, don't be ashamed of that.
Be proud of that.
Be proud of that. Just because you don't, if you don't have a degree and you're not doing something like a lawyer or a doctor or stuff like that, there is no shame in that. There is no shame in being a manual labor kind of guy. Factory work. The fact of the matter is, Jay, we need every little person and every big person and every company to make this country go round.
I don't know about you, but I worked in those fields, and I didn't need a pat on the back. You know what I did? I did the work, and at the end of the day, I looked back and I saw that I contributed something, that something was done that would not be done except for by my hands, and I was proud of that myself. I could drive by houses and buildings today if I was back home, which is where I did most of the building that I did in my life. I did a lot of it about here. I still drive by neighborhoods and say, you know, I put floors in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm the same way with plumbing.
Yeah, and when I did the work, I did it as my own true worship to God, so I know that it was good, and it is likely still just as it was when I finished it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People don't take pride in their work anymore.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was talking to somebody about that, and that's the big difference between, you know, a generation ago and then, you know, I'm not saying all of every generation, if any particular generation is like that, but it seems more so now than ever before. People aren't taking pride in what they do. They're just in it to make the check. And, you know, that so their happiness depends on how much they get paid per hour. And, you know, I understand that. You know, we're lower class. So, I mean, I don't know if you consider, yeah, we're lower class.
I think it's under $25,000 a year, so we're right on the edge.
Ah, well, then I'm no longer lower class.
There's poverty, which is up to, I think, 8,000, or I don't know. I used to know those numbers. I don't know.
So 25 is poverty. Under 25 is poverty, and then from 25 up, what is that? I don't even know about the class systems.
Middle.
Middle?
Yeah. Up to 50 to 200,000. I'm not sure. We could look it up. We could bring it up.
Because, I mean, I'm not going to tell everybody what I make. But I don't think I'm.
Has to do with the tax rates, which have changed.
I'm no longer considered poverty then, but I lived for years on $19,000 a year.
Yeah,
that's gross.
I lived on a lot less.
That is gross, and you know, and I always felt blessed.
You don't live well that way though either. You know, you pay the bills and you're stuck where you're at.
But you know what? The thing is,
and then other bills out. You know,
if you have
maintenance and stuff is outside of that, and you can't do maintenance.
Right.
things deteriorate.
Even now, my margin is still, and a lot of people's margin is paper thin.
Yeah, that's part of an economic design, though. That's not really a direct reflection of a person.
What would we be called, peasants in an aristocracy?
Well, I think the economic design is that at a certain level of income, okay, so what they really want is for people to work 16 hours a day and to have that kind of level of production. And so they adjust the pay rate so that a person working at that rate can just afford to live. With what very little time they do find left, they can do something. They can pay all their bills and have the things that that's stuffed down their throat as things that would make life better.
Steve says they do a lot of jobs that other people won't do.
Yeah.
And we are losing a lot of jobs to other countries, not just Mexico.
Right.
It's true.
Well, we're gaining them back now.
Yeah.
People are working really hard, and there's not enough people to fill the jobs.
No. So it's time for another commercial. We're not going to do naturalsolutionstore.bz on this one.
On economic design, I wanted to finish that thought.
Before we forget.
On economic design, on a lower class, it's designed so that it's not a direct reflection of the people and their work and what they should be getting for the work that they do. But what it's designed is to inspire somebody to strive and work harder and to reach further. So you may be able to survive in the poverty level by just getting by, but then when things deteriorate, like your car and stuff like that, you will not be able to pay for those repairs. So your life, if you're living in poverty, you may be able to pay your bills and keep out of the cold, but you're not going to be able to keep going. So you have to strive to raise and that's part of economic design. That's not a direct reflection of people and their quality and their value. That's a direct reflection of what our economy expects from us in order for it to continue to function well.
Right. So,
okay, so we're doing a commercial.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to take the. Are we there yet?
Yeah. Well, no.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I'm already on here.
There you
Facebook.
are.
Hey, everybody. I do need to get a new hat, though. I can tell you because I want to get a like a fedora would be really cool or something like that, or maybe a. I don't think a derby hat would look good with this outfit. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Today I want to talk to you about something up and coming this month for the first time in the history of Acts Ministry. We're going to do a live stream telethon. It's on the 28th and 29th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. both days. We still have plenty of slots, plenty of half-hour to hour slots. We need sponsors, folks, because we want to keep doing what we do here. This is not so we can line our pockets. This is not so we can be famous. We want to continue to be able to participate in the programs that we currently participate in. We participate in autism awareness programs, veterans programs, health programs like the Helping Hands Fund, and many, many others. In order to keep doing this, we need your help. Anytime a nonprofit is trying to reach out to the world, it takes money to do so. So that's what we're doing. We're wanting to not only get you guys, if you are a potential advertiser with us, to sponsor an hour or two. We want people to see your business and see how you're helping us to do the right thing. So if you would like more information on it, there's a way to contact us on – oh, wait, wrong banner. AxeMediaGroup.com. And if you don't want to sponsor – or if you want to set up a monthly gift, go online to AxeMediaGroup.com/please-donate/. And then that'll take you right to our subscription page, which allows you via PayPal to be able to give us a gift every month to help us out. Or if you just want to give a one-time gift, you can do it that way as well. So also go to AxeMediaGroup.com just to check out the cool stuff we got there. We got the Real News Review, and you can see a little bit more about the programs that we have and that we do and that we are involved in. So go online, check it out. If you're watching on Facebook and you are watching on your computer and you don't want to type it in, just scan a barcode up on the top of the little bar on the bottom, and you'll be able to take you right there. So, anyways, back to you guys.
You know, and I would go further and say if you own and operate a Christian business, support us, not because it will produce more business for you, but because it will produce more shows where Christian people with Christian influence in the world come in here and demonstrate who they are so that people can relate to us as people and see God's influence in our lives and possibly be able to, because what, like the show yesterday, Something to Celebrate. Christian people, now this lady, Amber, she's an amazing woman, right? And she's a businesswoman. She's connected to all kinds of other businesswomen and business people. They write books, and their influence is really Christian. So they're out there in the world of business, but they're Christian people who have an accountability to God, to conduct themselves a certain way.
Right.
Well, and like we were just talking about, this is the morning drive, and we're lower class, barely middle class, if you've reached that, and we're a different kind of people. Mm-hmm. And we're on here talking about now, the people in our circle are mostly lower class people or recovering drug addicts and alcoholics, and there's homeless people that we're connected to. We're in the world of nonprofit, people who are not in business to make a profit and to produce anything except for people, or the product that we're working for is people who need help.
Jessica Thomas, Stephanie
by
Shaw,
introducing them to the gospel,
Buddy Pillmore, hello,
and bringing them out of the darkness. So that's kind of where we are. And so there's and then we have people working in the prison systems, bringing people out of the prison systems, reintroducing them to society, teaching them about the Lord, and the difference that He can make, and the standard of accountability that they have in society, and that they'll be held accountable to God, not to the law. So they start to have that in their heart and make a change in their heart,
Sandy
in their
Bray.
life.
Hello, Sandy Bray.
So support that we could grow, that we can get more people on here from more different walks of life, and that we can have a diverse production that introduces all kinds of people to all kinds of people who they can relate to, and come in here and follow our programming and have some Christian influence and grow that way. So that's what you would really be supporting. You may not be generating thousands of clients, right, but what you may be generating is a Christian set of programs that are produced by people from all different walks of life that someone can tune in and relate to and be influenced by.
Yeah. And
that's what I want. That's my perspective on it. So please support us.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Jay. I'm going to do, what's the scripture of the day today?
It's a good one.
It is Deuteronomy 13:4. You shall walk after the Lord your God and fear Him, keep His commandments, and obey His voice. You shall serve Him and hold fast to Him. That's good. That's good. Really good stuff. You should hold fast to Him, meaning to hold on tight.
Yep.
To fasten yourself to Him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where that came from, right? Hold fast.
Yep.
Like to fasten. So, anyways, yesterday we had Dennis Everson on the show with us. That was fun. He's an interesting fella. You'll see a lot of his work is YouTube. He does a lot of our tagging and stuff on YouTube. And
I got some books from him.
Go watch the YouTube video from yesterday. And about 13, 14 minutes in, did you see that?
No.
There's a little thing that pops up, a little question that says, should Jay?
Oh, yeah, I
should
saw
Jay interrupt more?
Yeah.
Or should he stop interrupting?
Yeah, so take the survey. That's from yesterday's show.
Last time I saw it was 50-50.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it was 50-50.
How many people?
I don't know. I think it was two. I think
two people, okay.
Dennis
so one's...
Jim. I don't know. I don't know if that was good. I don't know. Because they're, we're slowly building our YouTube audience up, and it's work. If it was
that's
easy,
kind of a fun little thing, but it also is a great way to express yourself and have some influence, and I would definitely benefit from it.
Yeah. I thought it was funny how we all just started purposefully interrupting each other yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was pretty chaotic.
Yeah, we have a great time.
Steve said, good show yesterday. Larry Melton, good morning. Good to see you. So I'm trying to think of what prayer requests. We need to still continue to pray for Misty.
Yes, a ton of prayer requests.
Her boyfriend, I think it's also her child's father, died suddenly.
Yeah.
And, nothing, no matter how long it takes, nothing can really prepare you for it.
Yeah.
No matter how long you know. Linda Fleetwood sent the Spock sign with a pumpkin.
Spock pumpkin. Spock up your pumpkins. Halloween's on the way.
That's good. That's good. We got trunk or treat coming up, or I'm sorry, fall harvest. Right. Fall harvest blowout. Are you gonna?
I prefer that.
Are you gonna decorate your saddlebags on your motorcycle?
No.
No.
I have no plan to.
I mean, you had a lot of fun last year. Was it last year where people were throwing balls and stuff?
I don't know. I've been to so many.
You had a little basketball game where they tried to make a shot and you give them candy.
That was a few years ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Man, time flies so fast.
Yeah.
The older you get, the faster time goes. So I'm telling you, I know some people that probably live life in light speed. But,
so anyways, you moved off so quickly. Prayer requests.
Oh, yeah.
Look, pray for the children, and that's what I was talking about, what you would be supporting also, is one of the ways that I
What's up,
volunteer
Tim?
is
welcome to the show.
With the children's program. And so we get the children's prayer requests. We teach them to pray by our own prayer requests and praying and teaching the Word of God about prayer and being close to God. And so these children have these prayer requests and pray for them. Some of these children are facing things that we can probably imagine because many of us face them also, but they're children. They're not equipped as we are to face these things.
Right.
And these thoughts a lot of times are kept to themselves because they don't have the intelligence and the words to express it in a way. You know? How do you put into words some things? Well, you have to know the words.
Morning, Robin Katie.
You have to understand them and understand how to put them together, and then you have to have the courage to use those words to tell somebody what you're going through. And these children suffer so much, and their prayer requests would break your heart if you heard them. So pray for them because they're going through some things that at their age are very hard to manage, even just to say.
Yeah, and we talked about that, was it yesterday or the day before? That's hardcore.
Yeah.
Hearing people pray and then hearing children ask, sometimes children can ask you questions like, why does my dad not love me, or why did he just give me up?
Yeah.
Nothing can prepare you for that.
No.
That's
and
like,
what do you tell them?
That's a dagger right into the old ticker. Mm-hmm. That's you're gonna have to get some tissues because it's pretty rough.
That's an amazing influence on me too, though. Hearing that from a child as an alcoholic and somebody whose marriage fell apart, and then the children didn't want to see me anymore. They didn't. I say they didn't want to see me anymore. What it was they didn't want to come to my house where my behavior didn't make them feel safe. What they wanted was for me to come to their mom's house. Because I was drinking, I was brawling, I was yelling, I was hostile. So they didn't want to be around me at my home. They wanted to be around me at a place where I would behave differently. And what they really wanted was for me to behave differently.
Linda, we're praying.
So it does give me some insight into what my children have been through. And my children have been able to say to me, Dad, we didn't want to go to your house. We wanted you around. We needed you there, and you weren't there.
Yeah.
And they've actually been able to say that to me. But now they're adults, right? And that's my point, is how do children find the words to say that? In an environment where they know that they can say it and be heard and understood, and that somebody can intervene on their behalf, at least to just, let them know that sometimes life is difficult and that God can be with them. We have a good Father in heaven who loves them. Anyway,
Linda says, I have been down with severe back muscle spasms since Sunday. Prayer request. He didn't ask for prayer request, but I'm going to go ahead and throw Timothy and Tessamune in that because he is a defense attorney.
Right.
And I wonder who's calling. Someone from Kansas. Should I answer it?
No.
That would be funny.
No, if it's not a scheduled or expected call for the show, I wouldn't do it.
this call might be recorded and broadcast live.
Yeah.
But he's a defense attorney. That's got to be a rough job sometimes too. Linda, we will be praying for you. The symbol you I didn't want to interrupt you for this. The symbol you sent was actually "Live Long and Prosper."
What's that?
She said that was supposed to be the "I love you" symbol.
I love you, pumpkin.
I love you, pumpkin.
Well, we love you too.
Pumpkin. She calls us pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Love you, pumpkin.
Yeah.
So, and also let's pray for the people that Tim represents as well, because one way or the other, whether they're guilty or not guilty, they're going through some stuff, and it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
So, and people, I know, whenever I was in trouble with the law, I was relieved when I had a lawyer. When I finally got a lawyer and knew things were going to be taken care of, it was a huge weight. Other than that, it was just like a yoke around your neck, dragging you to the ground because you were so stressed out all the time, or me anyways.
Yeah, and really, isn't that adults finding themselves in a place where they need some sort of a legal defense? And that's my point with the children, is we've got to teach our children well. If our children are able to articulate themselves, to say what they're going through, what choices and what challenges they're confronted with, and if they're able to articulate that to us in an environment where they know they're going to be understood, that there's going to be some sympathy and some empathy, and that you work together with them to find solutions where they can act in life in a way that won't lead them to a place where they need defense. And if they are led to that, they'll be in defense of a principle that they believe in, you know, and that they can stand in truth.
I've heard children pray before as well. We had a couple of, I think there were about, like, one was like 8 and the other one was 11. And they hung around every time. Dennis and Becky Code was some friends of theirs, which became friends of mine. I actually dated this lady for a while, if you want to call it that. But her daughters would always come to all the places where, and this is where the band would be playing on the weekends.
Right.
You know, whenever Dennis was feeding people at different churches here and there, we would all stand in a circle and start to pray, and each person would pray. And when it got to the girl's turn to pray, she prayed with all of her heart.
Yeah.
And you could feel it. It was palpable. You could literally just, I don't know, the fact that innocence is asking God to help people and pointing out prayer requests for specific people.
Yeah.
And then also giving, word from the Holy Spirit to people. It was incredible. Incredibly powerful.
Yeah, and as adults, the world is so redundant to us that we start to just assume and read into everything.
A lot of cynicism as well.
Right, and a little bit of awareness of something gives us an image and a vision of our experience in life, instead of seeing it for what it really is, where children see things for the first time for what it really is, and they don't let all of their experience, they don't have the experience to influence it falsely or add something to it that's not there, and that's why their prayers are so genuine, and so amazing. So, and that's another thing that's good about praying with children, is you stop looking at things from a perspective of your experience.
Now, the teacher that you assist has something to say on the subject as well. Stephanie Shaw, she's the teacher, right?
Yeah,
and you're her assistant.
Yeah.
Kids also need to know that even though they are going through things, they may want a different outcome, but they need to pray for God, for God's will, knowing that God's plans are best for them.
Yes.
And making sure that they understand that. But this is for adults too, she says. We need to realize we don't know what God's plan is for us, but His plan is good for us.
Yes, and that's the teacher of the class I assist in.
And I preached a sermon on that. God's will needs to be our will,
not the other way around.
Yeah. Our will needs to be what God's will is.
Yes.
God's will
does not need to be what our will is.
No. Jonathan Kretzman, welcome to the party. Now we've had the last few shows have been really goofy, so we're kind of being serious today.
I've been holding my tongue and trying to let things, relax a little, because I will be too intense for too. I'll be too serious all the time.
I mean, you're a thinker.
Yeah,
you think a lot.
Yeah,
and
which is good because when we are being humorous, I can think about it and be kind of humorous.
Yeah, we have a good back and forth, you and I.
Yeah. And thank you for that.
No, thank you, Jay.
You monster.
Monster.
You tyrant.
I've been called that a couple times.
No.
I'm pretty sure when I was a smaller child and in need of medication for my ADHD, I'm pretty sure I was called a few worse things than that.
Yeah.
Well, I look back at how I acted, and I would be frustrated too as an adult because I've been around children like I was.
Yeah. And it's difficult.
Very difficult. Mm-hmm. Like, you can talk to them, and they just, and they hear you for a split second, and then
they're off onto something.
And then
else,
if you're getting onto them about something, they're not hearing you.
Hardly.
They're just like.
It takes patience and really seeking the opportunity to be able to have the influence, the right timing, and saying the right thing at the right time to a child whose attention is just so difficult to reach. It's so diverse and divided and split. It's hard to be. You have to really watch carefully and look for the right moments, because when you find those moments, they really take it in.
Yeah.
They really take it in, and they respond well.
Sponges.
Yes.
Boy, it's getting hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
they need the chance, They need the chance. That's why a teacher or a teacher's assistant, if you're in a position as a parent, to watch carefully and to look for those moments, because those moments give them the chance to make a change in their life or to learn something and grow. We're raising them to be adults in the world, not raising them to be children. And children who have ADHD or other types of disorders, their chances are they have a more difficult road ahead. And so being careful and watching intently and carefully for a moment where you may be able to give a child some information where they be able to take it in, learn, apply it, and grow. And that may be difficult and take a lot of patience, but then when you're able to do it and you get the opportunity to do it and you see the change, you see the thoughtfulness that the children have with the information you give them, and you watch them grow, it's a blessing from God to see.
I want to say, Linda, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that embarrassed you, me pointing out that wasn't the I love you symbol. I feel really bad about that. My goal is not to embarrass people. She didn't say anything, but I just got to thinking.
What happened?
Oh, whenever she put up the live long and prosper.
Oh, right.
And I said live long and prosper instead of I love you. So, yeah. I should have just said, well, we love you too.
Yeah, we do love you too.
Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin. It's that time of year, though, for pumpkins.
It is.
And you know what else is that time of year for?
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah. Hey, another show that people can support is the Power Hour. We don't know how long we're going to have him, and he's an amazing person too. He talks about
Skylar Carter.
Yes, he talks about reaching out and loving on people with every opportunity that you have. If you see an opportunity to make sure somebody knows that you love them, even a stranger, somebody you don't know, to make sure they know that you love them and why you love them, because Jesus first loved you, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that you can support by supporting our show, and I just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm responding to a comment.
Because you can have incredible influence in the world around you if you do that.
Yeah. What else are we going to talk about today? It's almost I don't
know. You want to move on from the subject?
No.
What's on your mind?
I'm telling Linda I love her too.
You're wearing a tie with that.
Yeah, with the suit. Today. Yeah, the shirt.
It's fantastic.
This is
your pin's staying upright.
Yeah, I made sure to punch it in there.
Yeah.
real good, and make sure it doesn't twist, because it does have a little pointy thing on the outer edge.
And that's what that's for.
Now, it doesn't actually poke through your shirt.
Well, they're made that way, and that is supposed to be an intentional
Are you
thing.
are you in distress, Jay?
Yeah, see, and that's what that's supposed to
Now,
be.
where did that come from?
Probably from the espionage, or like
if someone is blackmailing you or something, you turn your
right.
your
your
flag upside down.
yes.
So
and
then Secret Service or whoever would be like, okay, something's going wrong here.
Yes. That brings people's attention to you and what you do in your situation, so that they can have your back.
Kind of like whenever an officer says, if you're in distress right now, blink twice or whatever, you know. So that way you're not actually saying anything, and yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. It probably started in the...
Also, when enemies capture people and are forcing them to say something, I suppose that could be a way of
Morning, Leighton.
Of saying this is not really I'm saying this in duress, that I'm being forced. This is not truly my statement.
Stephanie Shaw says, just have to say this, Jay has been an answer to one of my prayers. That's good. Leighton Jones is on,
Morning.
Watching us. You know Leighton. That's Gerald's son, Leighton.
Yep.
So good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
We're glad to have you here. I don't know if you've watched us very much. I haven't seen you watch us live very often, but we're really glad to have you here. And we're kind of talking about a bunch of different things today.
Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie, by the way. And this has been, being able to serve in that way has been a blessing to me, too. I mean, I would do that more, except that I can't miss my Sunday school class. I'm fed so much through that class.
Yeah.
And
Gerald's,
so much
right?
Gerald's class, that I don't want to miss it. Otherwise, I would help with the Sunday school class at church. But I do need more ways to serve that don't, interrupt the ways that I really need to be fed myself.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they also got it now. They always have, where you notice that they have a rotation for volunteers at church.
Yeah.
And that's so
if they have enough volunteers.
Yeah.
Like Stephanie doesn't get a week off.
No.
At Sunday school.
But
she probably doesn't want one either.
Probably not. If it's anything like, what we do here is a fulfilling thing. We get to bring the gospel to people all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that way you can sit and actually participate in the worship service instead of, having to focus on a job while you're doing it. And a lot of people say, well, you're in the service, you're still watching it, you have to watch it, you're on camera. But that's not the case. When you're on camera out there, you got headphones on and you're listening to people talk back and forth saying, hey, turn this over to here, point to that, point to this, point to that.
I was not able to listen, not with my the way
even as a sound man, you can't listen. It's hard. You can't listen to the actual words.
Well, because when you're operating the equipment, I don't know, something about hand-eye coordination and being able to process information that I'm taking in, I'm not able to do it. Because when I'm listening to the sermon, I'm thinking about my life and all the ways that it applies and all of the ways that I need to repent and honor God's word and worship God through that. So it's really hard for me because my mind is always going and searching through my life for the ways that I need to change and develop and grow so that I can...
And how you can help others.
So that I can leave this world and know that my life has been one that has honored God and that other people see that way too. And that God is a worthy God to worship and honor. That they can see the value in that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, can you believe it's already almost 10 till?
I can't believe it.
Man.
It's time.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. We really need more time between shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead. We do need more time between shows.
I'm not able to accomplish what we have to do.
That's why we're always a couple minutes late. But the good thing about Facebook is
it's forgiving.
It is very forgiving. Stephanie says you're right, but I get fed through worship service and BSF on Monday night.
Yeah, she goes to a great class.
I sat in front of her and her son at the worship service this past Sunday, and
matter of fact, the prayer circles that we're having with the kids on Friday night is something that she learned through one of her other classes and has been applying there. And without that,
each kid
You know, and what a great thing, because through that has come the opportunities that I am able to truly pray for these children and what they're really going through. And our example of our prayer requests are what have helped the children to put the words together to express what it is they really need prayer about.
Yeah. That's like that story I've talked about a couple times on here. There was a guy, and he heard his granddaughter saying the alphabet. But said it like it was a prayer, and then said amen afterwards. And he said, what are you doing? Well, I don't really know how to put the words together. I just figured I'd put the words there. God knows how to put them together.
Right.
So,
and that's absolutely true.
So can you imagine in your most frustrating times? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Sometimes Y.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the vowels, right?
Yes.
A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y.
You already said most of them, so.
I did. Actually, I said all of them.
Because you went to Z.
Yeah. I said Y twice. But anyways.
.bz. There's our commercial.
.bz.
We need your support. If you're a small business operator, support us out of generosity and being able to provide us the funds that we need to develop this network and to grow it and to add shows where people can come and see people and be influenced by the body of Christ.
That's right. Well, we would love to have everybody hear the gospel all over the world.
Amen.
So be sure and tune in next for who's that guy?
The New Gold
Tony
Standard
Hammock.
with Tony Hammock.
Sorry, my brain just kind of left me there for a second. And that brings me up to my next product that I want to talk about. On naturalsolutionstore.bz.
Is it time for that?
It is time for that.
All right.
Ready? Boom. All right, so today, everybody, I want to talk about, obviously, you see, my brain's kind of scattered sometimes. Naturalsolutionstore.bz has a product on there called Brain Focus.
What?
Yeah, Brain Focus. What?
.bz.
Where were we at? What are we doing? Anyways, the combination of herbs that is used for centuries in Ayurveda, herbalists to support memory and mental focus. Now, these ancient Asian herbs feature natural phytonutrients known as backsides. But, get it?
Yeah. See why you're laughing?
These enhance the activity of vital neurotransmitters of the brain involved in information processing and memorization. With Brain Focus, you can improve your mental focus and enhance your short-term memory. Brain Focus can boost concentration, enhance learning, natural focus, and reduce stress and anxiety with increased brain power. So, if you have a little bit of a scatterbrain, you want to give this a try, go online, www.naturalsolutionstore.bz, and pick up some today.
.bz.
All right. So you know what that means? It's time.
We are back, and we are ready to get out of here.
We're back, and then
we're
going. We're gone.
You just give me the word.
Jesus saves. That's the word.
Amen.
So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today on the Morning Drive. I'd like to thank for everybody that has commented and has been participating in all these conversations. Excuse me. We'll be back on tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Tune in next for the New Gold Standard with Tony Hammock and see what he has to say with his cool-looking gold-colored tie. So until then, my friends, God bless you, keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
And this has been
The Morning
Drive. Sorry, I got a little bit.